So we have our next segment. Talk about my boy Brandon with his Broncos. We're gonna talk
That's
about
three-time world champ Broncos, sir.
my bad, apologies. 3-time world champs, Denver Broncos. Denver is on the clock. So we're gonna talk about what the Broncos need to do this all season to improve, be a contender in the AFC West. So with that being said, Brandon, what do you think the Broncos need? Well, what should the Broncos do, starting with free agency, then uh, leading up to the draft? Who should they select with their first round pick at number 9 overall? Or if you want to trade up, you can put that scenario in there if you want to spice it up, put a little razzle dazzle. But what is your opinion on that?
In my opinion, in free agency, we need to get more interior linemen. You got 2 all-pro running backs with Lindsey and Melvin Gordon back there. You got to give the quarterback some extra help, especially on the offensive side, because you have studs. Man, we got studs at wide receiver. Unfortunately, we had Cortland Sutton that was hurt. Judy never got into a good rhythm. Noah Fant can be an all-pro tight end, if he had that opportunity. But it starts up front. Secondly, if you can get a little bit extra help on the defensive backside, we are so far removed from the no-fly zone. From 5 years ago with Talib and Chris Harris and TJ Ward, we got to get back to something. I mean, we re-signed Justin Simmons. We got a rookie, Michael Ojemudia. He had a pretty decent rookie season. But that's not pertinent at the moment. But if they can get some DB help, that's always a good plus. But the number one thing that we need to do is it's obvious to everybody. It's quarterback play. And they need to make a decision fast. Are they going to stick with Drew Lock? And if you're going to stick with Drew Lock, how many years are you going to give him? Are you going to give him 3 years? And maybe he ends up like another Jameis, just a bust? Or, you make a move. And at what we drafting at? Number 7?
9.
Number 5 or number 9? Okay.
Yeah.
I doubt that Justin Fields will be there. Hopefully he has a mediocre pro day to where he can fall. Where he can fall to us. The other guy, Lance, coming out of North Dakota
had
State.
a great pro day today.
Yeah, I think the Jets they want to go ahead and lock that up with Lance. And then you got Trevor Lawrence. I doubt I can't see Trevor Lawrence falling out of 6. I mean, he's going to Jacksonville first. That's what everybody's predicting. He's going to Jacksonville. And you got Lance going to New York. And then who's the guy out of BYU?
Actually, they're talking about Zach Wilson going to the Jets. At least that's what everybody's talking about.
I don't know if you must not
maybe
see
with
that
that
pro day today. I think that might have changed.
Yeah, maybe with
he was throwing that thing.
Who knows? I mean, if we can get someone to fall to number 9, I think that. I mean, the way the game has changed so far.
Room, though? The Watson rumors. Are you willing to give up everything, or what are you willing to give up? Or are you even interested as a fan? Would you want Deshaun Watson? Well, obviously, who wouldn't want Deshaun Watson? But are you willing to pay the price to get Deshaun Watson? Is the real question.
Here's the thing with Deshaun. The Texans want the world for Deshaun, but you can't put him back into an environment where he's going to end up feeling the same way he's been feeling in Houston. So you're going to give up your next 3 first-round picks, and hopefully you can build through free agency after paying his contract, which is the number 3rd quarterback in the league under Russ, Dak, and
Mahomes
and Pat Mahomes. So not only do you have to pay that in the future, and the cap that is going to bring, so that's going to mess up your free agency. then you don't have a first round pick for 3 years. Maybe if they can alternate it, maybe every other year, starting with next year, well, starting with this year and go every other year from there. Yeah, you could possibly make some moves with that, but you don't want to end up putting him in the same situation that he's in Houston. Because as you see, he's not feeling it. So what, in the next 3 years, he's gonna be in Denver saying, I want out of Denver?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's more so just, I mean, based on the reports, it's all about the organization, the owners, giving him false hope, I guess, in a way to say, saying that they're going to do one thing and another. I think the Denver Broncos, I know the Denver Broncos have a lot more stability with their organization compared to the Houston Texans, which
absolutely
you never hear any rap about the Denver Broncos, whether it's like, Shannon Sharp, TD, nobody's ever talking bad about the Denver Broncos. They have
there's one bad rumor that we can't find a quarterback. We have John Elway as a GM and we can't find a quarterback.
I was just going to touch on that. I was going to touch on the fact that you're talking about drafting one. If I've seen anything the past 4 years, well, since Peyton's left, John Elway, he won't take a receiver in the first. He tries to take them a little later, that way it doesn't look bad. If he drafts a quarterback in the first round, it's kind of like he's putting his John Elway Super Bowl stamp on him, like this is the guy. So he handcuffs y'all and he takes one in the second, maybe the third round. That way, okay, if they don't pan out, it doesn't, it don't look the same way. If he was to take somebody at 9 or even potentially move up and draft a quarterback this year, that's pan out. It kind of, even though that's all in his head, like who cares at the end of the day? But you can't keep bringing in Brock Osweilers and Case Keenums and
take it back further. People think that it started after Peyton Manning. Jay Cutler is after the Jay Cutler era. So you got 2, maybe 3 years with Jay Cutler. I'm not off. I don't know off the top of my head. You probably got three or four good years out of Jay Cutler, and then you dive head first into the Tebow.
Well,
you dive head first into Tebow.
Y'all want to playoff games, remember?
Ooh, yeah, miracle.
Hey, if it wasn't for the stadium, he'll still be running. So you got Tebow. Then after the Tebow era, you got Brock Osweiler that came in under that, but then you go into the Peyton Manning era, and then that's where it goes completely downhill. You got Paxton Lynch, Chad Kelly, Case Keenum. I mean, it's been a rotating door with this quarterback situation.
Joe Flacco, right?
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. Yeah.
And then we started 3 different quarterbacks.
That's what it seems like, though. With John Lynch, it seems like he wants to, or John Elway. I'm sorry. Yeah. It seems like with John Elway, he wants to go ahead. He wants to, another former Bronco, by the way. But anyways, it seems like he wants to kind of go after somebody, I guess, that's somewhat more established. Like I've been hearing rumors about y'all trading for Darnold, which to me, I don't think Darnold's as bad as how he's looked in New York. If it's me,
so maybe
have a competition with him and Locke. Who knows?
So
you're not giving up as much as you would with Watson potentially.
We always worry about the problem. Let's see if we can find a solution. So they need to pick a quarterback who they want to go with right now today. If they say they want to go with Justin Fields, make that the guy, and then start preparing if that doesn't happen. I wouldn't necessarily trade for Sam Darnold, depending on the price, but you also got to look at Tyrod Taylor, who can still play. I mean, we had a visit with Ryan Fitzpatrick, who on his way out, he probably got 1 good year left in him. But if you don't choose a quarterback who you're going to get now and then start planning around that, then I don't think much is going to change on draft day.
So I don't know if you watch all the Broncos games or not.
Watch a couple of them.
Watch a couple of them. So are you ready to say that you're pretty much done with Drew Lock, or is it you just want somebody right now that's just gonna fix that problem? And
Well, I hope. I mean, anybody
like what
would
I
want
see
somebody right now.
not all the time.
If I could go back 1 year from today, if I could go back and put money that Tom Brady would win the Super Bowl, I would. You got the quarterback level has elevated so much in this game. You got a 43-year-old quarterback winning Super Bowls. Now in our division alone, you have a two-time Patrick Mahomes been to the Super Bowl 2 times in a row and a MVP and a Super Bowl MVP. You have the offensive rookie of the year and the quarterback.
Yeah,
Herbert.
Yeah.
You got the Raiders that are kind of they're making some moves. The Raiders they making some splash moves, and trust me, I think they're gonna do something. But that's a fast division. If you don't get ahead of this right now, Coach Fangio, you're gonna be dead last in your division.
Yeah,
and
you guys easily right now on paper have the worst quarterback in y'all division.
We might have the worst quarterback in the league. Think about it.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that part.
That's kind of a stretch.
I mean, I'd take Trubisky over Drew Lock. What?
No.
You don't like him that much?
You don't like him that much? I need you to. I need you to watch. I need you to watch last season of my Mitchell Trubisky game.
My opinion.
I need you to watch that Falcons game. I need you to watch that.
Okay, I don't know about Mitchell Trubisky, but I'd take about 15, 16 other quarterbacks over Drew Lock.
I'm gonna say let's hold up. I know I'm gonna say hold up. I said I get it, but hold up, Mitchell, come on.
I mean, you got to also take into account that Drew Lock, that was his first full season as a starter. Well,
correct.
He didn't play all the games. So I mean, and like you said, offensive line is a big issue for y'all.
Right.
So like that was something that I was going to get into at some point. But real quick before we get off topic, because we kind of have a little bit, but in terms of you were talking about the draft. So who would you select with that first round pick? Because we were talking about it, and you were talking about a quarterback.
Like you want Fields.
I like Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, your quarterback.
If Justin Fields can fall to number 9, I'll go ahead and take Justin Fields.
What about potentially moving up? It's a team in the orange and teal who sitting at 3, who they say they confident in Tua, so they might be willing to move down if y'all willing to, it's potential.
I mean, but what are we giving up? A couple fourths, 2 fourths in the first?
I mean,
you definitely got to give up. You got to give this year's first.
Obviously, they would swap first. So,
all right.
I think
you go to 3, they go down to 9.
9.
If they doing that, they probably want like a third. Honestly,
that's fair.
Is it worth it to get your quarterback though?
You have a guarantee.
He's really got to be that guy. He's really got to be that guy.
You got to think about all the teams ahead of you that want quarterbacks.
Right.
They say the Panthers are looking at a quarterback. They say the Falcons are looking at a quarterback. The
they
Jets,
are.
obviously, the Jaguars. So that's 4 quarterbacks right there. So if you sit,
and Justin Fields is from Georgia, so I can see that. I can definitely see that happen. I can definitely see that happening. Hell, give up the third. You don't have to give up that third. And if it's too much, something got to happen next year. Give up a second next year.
So,
but if Justin Fields is that guy, and I think that he can be, I've seen some good flashes, but then again, a quarterback coming out of Ohio State, it's not really saying much because everybody at Ohio State is good. So, and that's the same thing you say about quarterbacks from Alabama. There's not really been one quarterback from Alabama that's still a starter or a consistent starter because everybody on Alabama is good. So I mean, I got to see his pro day. He's got to be that. Got to be that guy for us. Defensively, if we were to, because I know the next question gonna be about Vaughn. If we're gonna have to fix this Vaughn situation, there are two defensive ends out of Pittsburgh that I really like. Look them up. I forgot. I think one last name is Jones, and the other last name. Those guys, Miami got off a defensive line that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can put your hand in a bag and just pick a name. They'll do good. Obviously Marvin Wilson coming out. But at third, the only person I could really see at third would be probably Marvin Wilson coming out of Florida State, being a cornerstone defensive tackle. That's where you want to start. You want to start this new dynasty with a new era with the Broncos.
My boy said
Big fan. Hey, look, don't blame me. Don't blame me.
Yeah,
but
right.
if
you forgot Mahomes over there, huh?
Right.
Dynasty.
Well, hear me out. If you watch the film on what the Bucs did, it started in the middle.
Yeah.
You had a great pass rush. If that's what you want to win this division title and consistently make the playoffs over a year, you're going to need a stout defensive line, and you got to pick that cornerstone defensive tackle.
That I didn't like the move because y'all just traded for him last year was let go of Jarrell Casey.
Yeah,
I feel like we didn't get to see what that could have been, and
right.
That's one thing though. Like I said, I picked y'all as my sleeper team in the AFC last year, and I feel like injuries kind of derail a lot of what y'all potentially could have done last year.
Right.
So I mean, y'all went 5-11, and then if I'm looking at it, 28th in offense, 25th in defense. So you really could pick either side of the ball to try to address. It's up in the air right now. Obviously, Von Miller wasn't there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Lock was in and out of the lineup. Sorry, but Dupree, it happened. Was a mistake. But y'all got 32.3 million in cap space as we sit right now. Do you cut Von Miller to save cap, or do you try to restructure him? Like, y'all got a little wiggle room to make some things happen.
I'd give him a 2-year. And this is me personally.
Yeah.
I give him a 2-year deal. You're gonna have to take a hometown discount, buddy. You got Bradley Chubb on the other end. We just signed Justin Simmons. We had to let go of AJ. It was
AJ Boye.
AJ Boye. So letting him go. Then we let go of Jarrell Casey. We're gonna have to buy some people. We're gonna have to buy some offensive line. And Von's gonna have to eat this one. He's been in some legal troubles lately. Thankfully, all the charges were dropped. The little scandal he had with his old girl.
Yeah.
You really bringing the franchise down, but you got a new GM. I think, and a new vice president. So if they need to go ahead and make a splash, spend that money. I mean, the Bucs opened up the wallet last year, and look how it turned out.
Yeah. And actually, the last time y'all opened up your wallet, you got to think about the first Super Bowl y'all went to with Peyton, how y'all was an offensive powerhouse, right? And Seattle just destroyed y'all. Sorry to bring up the bad memories, but that we seen that. Yeah.
That explains the Hennessy.
Yeah. but then look what they go and do. They go and spend money. That's when they went and got DeMarcus Ware and all them boys. Like they went and spent some money on that defensive side of the ball to balance everything out. And the defense actually ended up carrying Peyton, dragged him to a Super Bowl because his arm was shot, boy. Like,
man, look, he was throwing nothing but ducks out there, man. So look,
my boy Newton, man. But and what you're saying is crazy because that wasn't even 10 years ago. Like what, 6 years ago? Like
6 years ago. This is Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50. This is Super Bowl 50. What? 56, 55?
55.
Yeah, Super Bowl 55. So yeah, 5 years ago at Super Bowl 50. So,
Yeah, it was 2015. I think that was Cam Newton's MVP season. That's when obviously
they went
Yeah.
15-1.
Yeah.
So again, in the short amount of time, look how far removed we are. There's
that's
I
crazy.
think Bond is the only active player from that roster. We still ain't really found a middle linebacker after losing Danny Trevathan. We're trying to plug up the hole for Malik Jackson. We thought Derek Wolfe was going to stay with us for a while. Like, our defense was dismantled after that Super Bowl. And, rightfully so, because a lot of those guys were prime vets. We're talking about 8 and 9 year people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we sign Emmanuel Sanders, let him retire here, play one more year. Maybe get some of that Super Bowl hype from 5 years ago.
So, just out of curiosity, when was it that you realized that this was my team that I was going to root for? When did you become a Broncos fan?
All right. So I had to make a choice. My family's from Georgia.
All right.
And I think it was 98. I was watching that Super Bowl against the Falcons. My whole family just rooting. They're rooting for the Falcons. We never seen the Falcons go this far. We ain't never seen the Falcons do nothing. And we got in that ass. And I was like, okay, that's my team. I was a big fan of Shannon Sharp. I liked TD. And as I got older, Rod, I started watching more, and I was a big Rod Smith fan.
Mhm.
And then what we have,
Brian.
Funny story. Champ is like my third cousin on my mama's side.
Oh.
So at that point, it just solidified. Okay, this got to be my team. So, we had Brian Greasy for a while. I'm just watching Ed McCaffrey.
What you think about Jake?
Ed McCaffrey.
That boy Jake.
Huh?
Jake Plummer.
Jake the Snake Plumber.
Jake the Snake Plumber.
Jake the Snake Plumber. Ashley Lee, Steve Atwater, all of the guys, man. So I think it was that Super Bowl. I realized that was my team. A quick one. I used to live in Hawaii before I moved to Tampa, and I didn't know football from nothing. So it's like 90s, 97, 98, or
real black hole. Yeah.
Right. And you watch the Broncos. So I was a big fan of TD. I liked his running style and stuff. Remember, I'm just getting into the game. I don't know what a running back is from a punter. But after that Super Bowl, I was like, yeah, this gotta be my team. And then you got a quarterback that likes to go and dive and get helicopters and stuff. I said, oh yeah, that's my man right there. That's my dog.
John No Way Elway.
So, would you be opposed? And I know there's we've been talking about quarterbacks. Is basically what you're seeking to be drafted. I don't know if you can still hear me, Brandon?
Yeah, I can see you. I had to walk away.
Okay. So would you be opposed to if the Broncos decided, hey, Drew Lock is our guy, we're gonna rock with him. He just had his first full season as a starter, even though he didn't play all of the games, but we're gonna give him another try, see how he does. If they drafted, saying one of the top offensive tackles in the draft, or how you mentioned about middle linebacker, they're saying like they went Mika Parsons or something along those lines of getting or like you said, if for some reason, because we're all expecting quarterbacks to fall off the board in the first 4 picks, potentially even a little bit after that, because we're all expecting the Cincinnati Bengals to go offensive line.
Right.
So would you be opposed to the Broncos going in that direction where they draft, whether it's the linebacker to give y'all that presence, that leader in the middle of your defense, or potentially if what was the guy's name that you said, the defensive tackle, Florida State?
Marvin Wilson.
Marvin Wilson, if for saying he makes it to y'all.
Right.
Would you be opposed to any of those moves?
No, not at all. I mean, we have an okay linebacker core. They're all young guys. They're all like 2 and 3 year guys. They just, because of injuries, because of COVID, they really couldn't make a splash. They kind of jumped off the screen. If you were watching the games, I think number 41 or 42 is the middle linebacker Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He plays his job well. I don't think it's quite right to just give it up yet on that position, but yeah, you can put some fire on his ass and start drafting some middle linebackers. Like, hey, look, this trainer's gonna leave without you. If you don't get aboard. But to answer your question, quarterback it's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be necessarily addressed right now.
Yeah.
If you want to give Drew Lock another chance, another couple years, cool.
Yeah.
But we can't be that team. I know I always say this about the Broncos in the past like 3 years. We're the worst team out there. out of all the bad teams who are changing quarterbacks, changing coaches, GMs every other year, out of all of them teams, we are the best one so far. But we can't fall into that changing the GM every 2 years, changing the head coach every 2 years. We need some type of structure. We need some type of stability. Right. So starting at the number one position on the team, if you want to give him stability and keep him around, I think that'd be great. Now, if you want to move on from him because of his play, then that makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to keep him, it has to be the right move, and it has to be right now. Because again, Kansas City they're on an expressway to go to the Super Bowl every year. You got the Chargers who are taking leaps in the right direction. You got a Hall of Fame coach in John Gruden coaching the hell out of those Raiders. I mean, every year they're getting better. Then there's us, the bottom of the barrel in our division, which we had ran for a good 5 years.
Yeah.
With the Peyton era.
Yeah.
So something's got to happen, or you're going to be last in your division for the next 6-7 years. Because Mahomes not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Well, the good thing is, like Trey said, you'll have a little bit over the 32 million cap space. There are plenty of defensive backs, defensive players to say, and offensive linemen to select.
Sure,
now,
the Chiefs
real
just let
quick,
go 2 tackles.
Exactly, but we,
yeah,
Eric Fisher.
He probably won't be available. But, he
so,
probably won't be available, but maybe.
But the other one is.
Hey Spence, real quick, how much time do we have remaining?
About 8 minutes.
Yeah.
18?
8.
Oh shoot! All right, so I guess just to continue on, Spence, if you want to kind of dibble into what you think we need and what you think the Broncos need.
I guess mostly to address the Von Miller situation, what's going on with that? What's going on with that? Once y'all figure out what's to do with that, I believe that's how you guys are going to handle free agency per se, because I guess I don't think he's the roadblock for y'all signing anybody, but I think it's like the first step to like, okay, that's done. Okay, this is what we're working with, and now this is where we can go with. Yeah. But other than that, just hey, who's the quarterback? Because after Locke got injured, I think y'all used Driscoll, I believe. Yeah. And then Jeff after Driscoll. It did, which sounds like a Red Dead Redemption character, but The other one, I think he got injured, and then y'all used y'all third string quarterback. I forgot him. And then
he got
receiver.
injured, and they used the
And
receiver.
then he got injured. And then y'all use your receiver. I was like, man, what the world? So
yeah, it was just bad over there. Denver was all banged up last year.
So injuries was a very big thing with the 49ers. So I would say just if you quarterback and just figure out the Vaughn situation. Once that happens, I mean, yeah, you can get Colonel Sanders for probably cheap. Like, hey, just come on back. Just come on. But that's really it for me right now.
Yeah, that Vaughn situation. I think everybody in that organization is. You got to think that's the last guy that they have from the last Super Bowl. So holding on to Vaughn, who I can, I agree that he's a Hall of Famer. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. But holding on to him, again, like you said, are we moving on from 5 years ago? Or are we going to stay around and keep stuff around and hoard, aging linebackers? So I agree with you. If you got to let Vaughn go, if Vaughn can't take a hometown discount, show everybody that, hey, we're moving on. Sorry, Vaughn. I mean, we seen what J.J. Watt left.
Yeah.
There was another defensive end that had left recently. We're talking about Hall of Fame guys, and we're moving on without you. So, sorry, Vaughn. I mean, if you're not taking, if the money's not right for Vaughn, then I mean, if the money's not right for either side,
right,
you just got to move on. And then that kind of shows the league and shows everyone that we're headed in the right direction. We're not finna just hold on to baggage,
right?
Because you just hate to see that guy who had such an illustrious career just keep getting injured and ACL injuries and Achilles injuries and stuff like that, and he's just hobbling on one leg, and you're keeping him around because he did so much for you.
Yeah,
gotta get it. Hey, the Patriots showed you. We'll get you out the building.
Yeah, that one kind of backfired for them though. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen.
And
to be honest, depending on how the Shaq Barrett situation goes, which
he's staying.
Money, he might stay. But if not, if y'all was to cut Vaughn, I don't know. He might end up going over there with Tom too. Who knows?
There's been talk about that too, but yeah, it don't seem like it after Tom Brady's move today, and we haven't heard yet about Mike Evans.
Y'all don't have enough lockers for these people, man.
Well,
you got to think about.
Don't worry, they'll make some.
You got to think about all the opportunities that the old vets that the Tampa Bay Bucks are signing. You taking away from the young guys and their dreams of being in the NFL.
They ain't worried about that.
They ain't worried about that.
We're trying to hit that back to back right now. So that ain't the problem right now. But we ain't talking about the Bucks. We talking about the Broncos.
Right. You say you better get in where you fit in. I hear you.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So before we wrap this segment, like we've been doing, I don't have your guys' schedule in front of me. Obviously, we haven't even hit free agency.
Oh, I got it.
Yet.
I got it.
Okay, run through their schedule real quick, and we're just going to give our predictions on what we think they're going to finish next year. Okay. As right now. So as of right now, that would be with Drew Lock as quarterback.
Yeah,
it's currently constructed.
All right. So right now, we got the home and away games. Obviously, there's not a set date for any of these games and the times. So again, there is a. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say you don't have to do their division rivals because we obviously know their division foes. So everybody outside the division.
Oh, by the way, the Broncos are taking one. We're taking the Kansas City game. We're gonna go 1-for-1 for them this year. We came too close.
Right.
Both games last year, we came close.
Yep.
We're taking one this year.
All right.
All right. So again, there's 18 games in this regular season. It hasn't been determined with the last one if it's home or away.
17.
So
17.
Oh yeah, 18 weeks, but 17 games.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously you got the division rivals, so I'm not going to include those. You have Baltimore at home, Cincinnati at home, Philadelphia at home. Again, these are all at Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Washington football team at home, You got the Jets at home, and again, to be determined, Detroit can be either a home game or away game. Then you got the away games, again, not including the division rivals for the Denver Broncos. We have Pittsburgh, at Cleveland, at New York Giants, at Dallas, and at Jacksonville. So,
okay, just off of that list and knowing the division, that could be
Yeah.
that's like 8. I heard 8 off rip. Like I
Yeah,
heard
that's like 8. Like
that's
8
8
now.
games for sure. A couple of them are like I say over would be 10. Over under would be 10 games. But
You know,
I'm
I
gonna
like
say 8 for sure. I heard 8 for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm gonna go 8 just for save.
I can do 8 and 8. I think
Well,
I
8,
think
9.
Well, yeah, be 9 and 8 or 8 and 9. Well,
Yeah, 8,
one or the
9.
other, but yeah.
7.
yeah.
I'm a low ball at 7 and 10.
Okay.
Washington, you got Washington on there, Cleveland. I'm talking about the ones that were supposed to be guaranteed wins. I think they come in the house and you know they bust ahead, but
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I
And then
think
you
we
have
split.
teams like us, Pittsburgh, who I want to say we should beat y'all, but we like to play down people sometimes. So who knows?
Look, man, we kept a good first quarter with the Saints with a wide receiver at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
So we ain't that bad. We the worst team out there right now.
And Vic, what's your prediction before we wrap?
I was looking at it, and